Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to look at a song by Bruno Mars that's on the top of the pop charts right now called That's What I Like. It's a pretty great song and it features some really cool jazz principles. I love it when jazz makes its way into pop because I think that it adds a lot of vitality and a lot of harmonic color that otherwise we normally don't hear in that style of music. So let's start by listening to the song and then breaking down the components of both the verse and then the bridge.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your ass invited, so gonna get to clapping. Go pop it for a plan, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan, drop it for me. I'll rent a beach house in Miami.
So what we have here is a verse that seems to center around the E flat minor 9 chord. And you know, before I actually start breaking it down, I'm just going to play it for you one time. So if you're at home, you can try it for yourself. All right. There's another way to play this song, and I'm going to actually spell these chords out. So let's say the first is E flat minor 9. The second is an A flat dominant 11 chord. Then we would move down to an F minor 7, which can also be played up here. And then we turn around on a B dominant 11. All right. Now, the thing that really makes this juicy as a chord progression is the use of these dominant 11 chords. In another video, I've talked about the idea of harmonic ambiguity. Here we have a chord, whether it's the dominant 11 on A flat or B flat. We have a chord that could really function in two different ways, depending on how it was being used in a song. So, for example, if we're in the key of F sharp major, or not even in the key, but if we're playing an F sharp major chord, let's say. And let's say that we add the 9th or the 2nd scale degree into the bass. Here we would be playing an F sharp over G sharp, right? Well, that's fine, but in this song, it's clearly not functioning in that way. Instead, the G sharp or A flat seems to be functioning as the root note of a dominant 11. And what I mean by dominant 11 is that you have the root, the dominant 7, we have a 9, and the 11 is on top. Now, I'd usually assume that you know what these chord extensions mean, but I'm going to just walk through it briefly so that in case you don't, then you'll be more familiar. So I'm going to just say for now that we're playing a G sharp dominant scale, okay? So starting on G sharp or A flat, I'm just going to play the scale and I'm going to count with it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 is the octave, which means that it's the original note. However, you can keep going beyond 8. You can go to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? We could keep going. And actually, I just realized I played a major scale instead of a dominant. So let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's that dominant 7. So when I say that we're playing a dominant 11 chord, what I mean is we're taking the root, the 7, the 9, and the 11 from a dominant chord or a dominant mode and building a chord out of it. Okay? So from that A flat or G sharp dominant 11 chord, it goes up to an ordinary F minor 7, and then it turns around on a sharp or B flat dominant 11 chord. And then there's 2 chords back to back there. So we have the dominant 11 that just moves to a regular dominant chord. Now, before we move forward and talk about the bridge, let's just look at these 4 chords and how they fit together within the context of a key signature. So I'm going to play them one time and see if we can use our ear to figure out what the tonal center is. here makes it seem like when we turn around to the E flat, that it's the tonal center. However, if we look at it in terms of jazz theory, we can kind of make out that this seems to be actually more of a 2, 5, 3, 6. And the 6 is special because instead of being the minor 6, when I say 6, I mean Roman numeral 6, instead of being a minor Roman numeral 6, which is what would normally happen, we're getting a dominant. So this is actually what they call a 5 of 2. It's called a 5 of 2 because it's a dominant chord where the dominant chord normally would not exist. So one more time, just to summarize, we have a 2, 5, 3, 5 of 2 progression. Now let's take a listen to the bridge, and we'll see how they introduce new chords in order to spice things up a little bit.
Jump in the Cadillac, girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby, you deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright.
Cool. All right. So this next part is a little different, and I'm gonna play the chords for you first, and then we'll talk about what's happening. So we start once again here, and I'll play it rhythmically. So. Wow. All right, so what's happening here? We are playing the 2 chord, Roman numeral 2, and we're skipping over the 5 from the verse. This time we're going from the 2 to the 3. Then we come down to the 5, but this time instead of playing a dominant 11 chord, we're playing just a minor 7 chord. So this is a minor 5 chord, leading down to the 4 chord as a major 7. Okay, I'll just play that section and then we'll do the second part of the bridge. So we got... and then it returns and it goes, and then the turnaround we have B flat minor 7, A flat dominant 7, F dominant 7 sharp 9, which can also be played up here. Okay, so in terms of the chord progression, we have 2, 3, minor 5, 4, 2, 3, and then here we're getting the 6, and it's no longer a dominant chord. Now it's just a natural minor 6 chord, Roman numeral 6, leading down to the dominant 5, and then down to the F, which is the 3, Roman numeral 3 with a dominant sharp 9 extension. And that's a chord that you see in jazz sometimes. It's also known as the Jimi Hendrix chord if you play it in this voicing. So, yeah, it's just a little bit of an insight into what they're using in the second part of the song to change things up, right? Again, to review, in the verse we had 2, 5, 3, 6. Then in the bridge we have 2, 3, minor 5, 4. So you can hear that we're changing the minor 5 and the 4. Those are 2 new chords that we're introducing. And then we turn around again, 2, 3, minor 6, dominant 5, 3 as a dominant 7 sharp 9. By introducing altered chords to this song, the songwriter has surprised the listener and change things up a little bit between the verses and the bridge so that you can feel the difference. There's also a difference in the rhythm. It's anticipated. So when you get to the bridge, you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, instead of the straight ahead rhythm that we had before. So by changing the rhythm and changing the chords, you are refreshing the listener's ear, and that's a great technique you can incorporate into your own songwriting. Okay, hopefully that's helpful for you. If you want to learn more about how to maneuver between verses and choruses in your song and give that sort of refreshing quality to your music, definitely hit me up. We can talk about your music specifically and look at songwriters that you like to figure out how we can incorporate their techniques into your songs. Okay, hope you enjoyed.
The Pyramind Mentorship Network connects you to experienced professionals for truly customized private training in music production, sound design, music business, and more. Use our scheduling tool to select the type of training you want, pick your mentor, find a day and time that works best for you, then book your session. Your appointment will be confirmed instantly. Study only what you want, progress at your own pace, pay as you go, and do it all from the comfort of your home or studio. Our global network of industry experts are here to help you. Visit pyramind.com/mentorship to get started.